Hello everyone and welcome to another video. A few weeks ago, Cassandra introduced you to Mason Thill. It didn't last very long. He claimed to live in Bootle, but he couldn't tell her anything about it. While I was making that video, his fake account was deleted, but undaunted, our man set up a new account. And so, Denise would like to introduce you to Mason Thill. Hello Denise, he said. Good evening, said Denise. How are you, he said, and tried to call her. I wasn't by the computer, so I missed him. I'm sorry, she said. I didn't see you were calling. I was outside. That's okay, he said. I can call you back right now, so we can have a little chat. Of course, said Denise. And so he called her. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you at all. No, I can't hear you at all. You sound like you're half a mile away in the cupboard.
Okay, I hear me right now?
No, I can't hear you. Try putting the phone next to your mouth.
Okay, can you hear
That's
me now?
better. Now I can hear you, yes.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I see you live in Bootle. Have you always lived there?
Yeah, I always live in Butthole.
You've always lived in Bootle? Oh,
Yeah.
right. So,
What about you? Where do you live?
me? I live in Guildford. So you'd say you've got a Liverpool accent, would you?
Well, I'm from Liverpool. I'm from Luxembourg. I just moved to Butthole a while ago, like 5 years now. Yeah. So I don't have that accent.
Oh, right. So you'd say you've got a sort of German Luxembourg accent, would you? Oh,
yeah,
right. Oh, that's interesting.
You're very
That's very
correct.
interesting. Yeah, I live in Guildford,
Yeah.
which, well, you know where Guildford is, presumably.
Well, I really don't know where Guildford is, but I can probably check on the map and no.
Well, it's in the south of England. It's sort of southwest of London.
Oh, that's nice. Perhaps since I have you in Guildford, you probably I have a friend there over there, and
What, you got a
probably we'll get to talk, and I get to know Guildford better.
you've got a friend in Guildford, did you say?
Yeah, I was actually referring to
Oh,
you.
okay. What do you do in Bootle?
Well, I'm into the real estate industry, and I probably do some side hustle, and I also dabble in the financial market.
All right. What when you say real estate, what do you mean?
I mean, I buy and sell houses.
Oh, right. So you're kind of.
What about you? What do you do?
I'm retired. I used to be an accountant.
So what? Oh, that's pretty nice. How long have you retired?
Oh, nearly 10 years ago.
Oh, I see. Me too. I was actually retired, but retirement got so boring, and I had to pick up the real estate job, since I can you know do it at my own time and space. So it's pretty much great for
So
me.
when you say you buy and sell houses, do you mean you're an agent, or do you buy them and do them up and then sell them on?
Yeah, I buy them and I refurbish and sell them off. I'm not an agent.
Oh, right. Oh, like they do on Homes Under the Hammer.
Pardon?
I said, like they do on Homes Under the Hammer. You must know that programme on the telly, surely.
No, not at all. I really don't follow that much.
Oh, right. Well, they do the same thing on there. They buy homes and they do them up and then they get them valued and tell you how much they're worth.
Well, pretty much. I guess there are a lot of agencies that get into this, so I'm not surprised.
Right. So, what made you leave Luxembourg? Why did you come over here?
Well, I was married in Luxembourg, so I lost my wife to cancer, and I got so devastated and heartbroken. I needed a little bit of space, and London, the UK was the best option for me. So I had to
All
move.
right. And what languages did you speak when you lived in Luxembourg? What language do they speak there? I can't remember.
Well, I guess it depends. Some
No, but
speak French, some speak
what language do you speak?
German, and
I apologise for the sound quality here. It was one of those glitches where my screen recording software seemed to record my answers over the top of what he was saying.
well,
What do you mean you speak a
I
little
speak a
bit
little
of
bit
French?
of
If you were
French.
brought up in Luxembourg, what language do you actually speak? So you must speak more than
I
a little
speak
bit. You must
French.
speak fluent French then, surely.
Well, true. I really didn't school in Luxembourg, so that's why I said
Well, what
I
language
speak a
did you
little bit
speak
of
at home?
French.
What did your parents speak? Right, yeah, so
Yes,
you were brought
my
up
parents
speaking
speak
French then.
French.
Only what I learnt at school.
Do you speak
That was
French?
a long time ago. But I do
Oh,
know a French accent when I hear one, obviously.
oh,
No, that's very
oh,
true. You don't, do
oh, I
you?
really don't have the accent. That's why I'm different.
So, yeah. So, what are you working on at the moment?
Well,
Have you
that's
got
pretty much nice.
Have you got a house that you're working on at the moment?
Hopefully, yeah, I've got a lot of houses I'm actually
Oh, right.
working
How
on
many?
at the moment. So
How many? I assumed you did them one at a time.
pardon? Well, currently
What do you mean
I have
about two?
about
What do you mean
two
about two?
that I'm working on right now. I meant I
Yeah.
have two houses I'm working on right now.
And what kind of houses are they?
Yeah.
Sorry, go
Do you
on.
know more about the um that's
Duplexes. What does that
duplexes?
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. What does that mean? I don't know what it
a
means.
duplex house.
No, that's why I just asked you what it
Don't you know
means.
what a duplex house? It's more like a family house with
Right.
so many rooms in it.
So how big is it?
You know, it's pretty much big, about
Yeah. How many bedrooms has
700
it
square
got?
foot. Five. The one with five bedrooms and three bath, and there's the
All right.
other
Oh, so they
one,
should be nice when
three
they're done
bedroom
then.
and two bath. Yeah, it will be
Yeah.
pretty much nice. Perhaps I'll
Do you
send you
do the work
pictures
yourself, or do you
when
get
they're
people to
pretty
do it
much
for you?
done. I
Oh,
get
right.
people to
Okay.
do it for me, so I
Oh, right.
supervise.
Like you mean you're an
And I do
interior
interiors
designer?
as well.
All right.
Exactly.
I'm no good with interior.
Well, I
So
see you
that's
have a
good.
little bit of flair for houses. I said, do you have
Not really.
a
No,
good
I'm not very
taste
good
for
at interior
interior
design. My
designs?
children always laugh at me.
Well, it's okay. Well, perhaps I can share your pictures, and you know, I have good designs with vintage
All right, okay.
patterns.
Well, I've only got a little house. There's not a lot of scope for design in my house.
Oh, well, I guess perhaps with time, you might as well, share some
Maybe, yeah.
ideas.
It may be,
You
yeah.
know what I mean, right? Oh, that would be great. That would be great. Then would probably set out time, have
Yeah. So
a coffee time together.
if you're thinking of retiring or
That's
you've
if you
already
don't
retired,
mind.
how old are you? All
Well,
right. So you retired
I'm
quite early then.
61. Yeah, I did. Well, the main idea here is I actually planned my retirement on time.
Yeah.
How was I?
So what did you do when you were living in Luxembourg?
Well, I was into
Oh, you're an architect.
architecture.
You're an
Um,
architect.
the what?
All right. So you
Exactly.
used to design what? Offices, houses? What did you design?
So I was basically focused more on. I
Oh,
basically
right.
focused more on houses. That was where I picked up
Oh, okay.
that flair for interior designs.
Are you well
Yeah.
known in the Sorry, go
Well, the
on.
name is well. I wouldn't say I was very much known because I was more like a low profile. I like keeping a low profile, but agencies I worked for since
Right, okay.
I'm freelance. So well, it's pretty much nice to hear from you, Denise. I hope
I'm sure we
we'll get to
will.
talk more often. How about that? Okay. Uh, well, and
Oh, it's very kind of
you've
you.
got a nice voice, and
Oh, it's very
I bet
kind
you
of you.
got a nice smile as well. Yeah, you're welcome. You're such
It's
a
nice to
sweet
talk to
person
you.
for saying that.
It feels nice talking to you, he said when the call had ended, and I really apologise for that last bit. If you're still listening, award yourself some kind of medal. It's always good to talk, said Denise. Yeah, it is, he said. Are you married or single? Good afternoon, Denise. Wishing you a beautiful day ahead. Hello, Denise. How are you doing today? I wrote you much earlier today, but no response back. Did I offend you in any way? Up and out most of today, said Denise. I went into town this morning and then went to visit my son. That's nice. Did you enjoy your time out? He said. I hated every minute of it, said Denise, in facetious mood, wondering whether he'd notice. Oh, I see, he said. And why is that? She ignored him. Be happy, my dear, he said a bit later. We can talk about your weekend plans, if you're open to it. Denise ignored him. I spent the weekend with my son, she said. I just got home half an hour ago. That's nice. It always feels nice to catch up and spend time with family. Yes, she said, it was a sunny day, so we had a barbecue in the garden. That's nice. I love barbecue as well. What kind of barbecue did you have? He asked. We had sausages and burgers and chicken legs. That's a nice choice of a sit out, he said. I went to see a friend in London yesterday, and we had a nice time. We enjoy fish barbecue. Where in London do your friends live? She asked. Wembley, he said. But we hung out at Box Park. I don't think I know Box Park, said Denise. It's a very popular place, he said. For having public barbecues? Asked Denise. Not really a public place, he said. It's more like a quiet and well-reserved place. You mean like a formal garden, somewhere you can sit quietly and enjoy a picnic? Not like a picnic settings, but a sit-out, he said. Indoors, but the environment was really nice. Okay, said Denise. I don't understand what you're trying to say. OK, he said. I would send you a picture. And he sent her some photos. You can look it up. I'd actually never heard of it, and I've never been there, so I can't really explain it. But it looks like a kind of restaurant to me with an open decking on top. Did you take those today? Asked Denise. Yes, he said, walking straight into the trap. And there was no one else there. Very popular place, said Denise. That was before we came in, he said. We were actually the first people that came in. And besides, it's not a crowded place. OK, said Denise. Ever been to London before? He asked. Of course I have, said Denise. I only live in Guildford. It's only half an hour on a fast train. That's nice, he said. I looked up Guildford, and it's really nice. What are your hobbies? Yogic chair waltzing, underwater watercolouring, and puzzle books. What are yours? That's super cool, he said. They never do read it, do they? I love puzzles too. Chess, Scrabble, and poker. I love swimming, lawn tennis, and golfing. What's your golf handicap? Asked Denise. Always ask them about one of their hobbies. Their answers can be very entertaining. Well, for a beginner, 90 would be 18 strokes over par, so a handicap of 18 or lower would be a good handicap for a beginner like me. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, said Denise. I asked what your handicap is. 18 or lower, he said. I think you can only have a single number as a handicap. I'm a beginner, not a professional. 18 or lower, she said. Impressive. Are you a professional poker player? Thank you, he said. And no, I'm not a professional poker player, only for fun. Are you a professional poker player? Do you play chess? I've never played poker, said Denise, and I haven't played chess since I was a child. Oh, I see. Well, I guess we grew up differently. How interesting was your childhood? What do you mean? Asked Denise. How interesting was your childhood? Oh dear, you probably shouldn't have asked him that, Denise. I meant, what was it like growing up? He asked. I still don't know what you mean. Tell me what it was like growing up, then I might understand the question. OK, he said. And so, he told her. I wouldn't say I had the best childhood, because my parents divorced when I was very young. Before I started school at age 4, my dad used to come get me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every other weekend. One Wednesday, he called my mum and said he couldn't get me that day, had to stay late at work. I was a daddy's boy, and I took this very hard. I remember crying and pleading for him to pick me up. My mum took that, as I don't want to spend time with mum. She pretended to call an orphanage, made me pack all my clothes up in boxes, and threw me out on the porch to wait for the orphanage truck to pick me up. I, a little 3 or 4-year-old boy, sat outside, alone, on the porch, in a bad neighbourhood, for at least an hour, convinced I'd never see my dad again. At the end, she told me I was so bad, even the orphanage didn't want me. She also made me take weird pills one time. My dad has confirmed that I never had an illness that would require this. I remember they made me shaky. I think that was in 2nd grade. I still can't take pills to this day. That was really traumatic for my dad. Not long, he got diagnosed of cancer and died a few months later. Then my mum took me in. I thought she already had you, but treated very badly, so she would best up at any given time I made a mistake. Used curse words on me. I had to call my grandparents to complain about the way my mother treated me. Eventually, I ran off the house to my grandparents and refused to be with my mother because she was so bad towards me. Luckily enough, my granddad was stationed in France, where we worked as an engineer. Grandma sent me to him, and I lived with him, and he treated me with love and affection. Also, taught me a lot of things about life I know today. I heard my mother had married again when I was in college. That was the last time I heard about her. That's a long, convoluted story, said Denise. I grew up in a little terraced house in Guildford with my parents and my brother. Good morning, Denise, said our man. How was your night? Feels good to know you had a great childhood, growing up with your parents and brother. Denise ignored him. Hi, she said. I didn't turn the iPad on this morning. That's all right, he said. I guess you were busy with other things. Good afternoon, she said. It's too hot here. What's it like in Bootle? It's cloudy here. Feels like 20 degrees C, he said, having hopped on the weather forecast and had a look. Guess the heat wave hasn't reached you, she said. It was very hot further south that day. Hopefully it wasn't. he said. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Why, asked Denise, are you thinking of coming down to Guildford? That would have been nice, he said, but I'm meeting with some clients at Brighton tomorrow. OK, she said. It's a long trip. Hopefully it gets better, he said. What about you? Better than what? She said. My son and grandsons usually come on Saturday morning. Better to close deals, I meant. Oh, OK, she said. That's nice. It sounds nice when family visits, he said. Do you ever think of investing in the real estate or financial market? I wouldn't know where to start, said Denise. Well, that simply I can work you through it and explain to you how the market's industry works, if you're open. I don't know, said Denise. All the financial markets are dropping fast at the moment, aren't they? I'm off to bed now. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Not necessarily, he said. Most are, but I have a reputation broker who picks stocks and trades perfectly. OK, then tomorrow we can speak about it more when you're up. Good night, Denise. It was nice chatting. Sweet dreams. Good morning, Denise, he said, the next day. On my way to Ireland, he said, which is not exactly in the same direction as Brighton, if you're in Bootle. On a road trip with friends. Looking forward to talking to you later. Enjoy a wonderful weekend, and you're going to love his photos of Ireland. I'll probably try and blur the faces out, but let's enlarge this one and see what the background in Ireland looks like. Nice with all those palm trees. I wonder which part of Ireland they're in. And now, scroll past the food. You arrived in Ireland, said Denise. Looks lovely. Yes, dear, we did yesterday, he said, and would leave today. Thanks, dear. And how's the weekend going for you? Hello, my daughter came to visit today. I wasn't expecting her, but it was lovely to see her. Wow! That's so nice of her to stop by. I can imagine how happy you were. How many children do you have? And I forgot, as I was scrolling down those pictures, I forgot to enlarge this video, and show you. So let's just do that. Just look at where the driver of this car is sitting. It's a left-hand drive. We don't have left-hand drive cars in the UK. We have right-hand drives, and that includes Ireland. So that little video definitely wasn't taken in Ireland, any more than these photos with the palm trees in the background were taken in Ireland. Back to the story, and that man has just asked Denise, how many children do you have? I have 2 children and 4 grandchildren, she said. That's nice, my dear. He feels happy to know you have quite a beautiful and amazing family tree. And how are you enjoying the day? Good morning, she said. I guess you're back home now. I don't think I've asked what you do in Bootle, have I? I'm retired. I used to run a small accountancy business with my late husband. Good morning, Denise. Yes, I'm home now. It's been a fun and amazing weekend. And yes, you've asked me what I do in Bootle. She'd forgotten. And I told you I buy and flip houses. She'd forgotten what he said when he called her. That's nice. Good to know you had a successful accountancy business. I used to be a financial analyst myself, until I retired. Stayed at home for years, my dear. Retirement got so boring, and I had to join the RE industry, and also their financial market on side. Now, it's pretty much different and exciting, and the good thing is that I can work on my own pace. You asked if the financial markets are dropping fast at the moment. I thought they were. Was I wrong? Said Denise. The market was bad, but it's recovering back now, he said. Do you get involved with the financial market? No, I don't, said Denise. Too risky for me. Sure, it can be for someone with no experience, he said. I have an account with an investment broker, where my trades and investment are handled by a team of professional financial market traders with the company. Oh, yippee! He's one of those cryptocurrency and fake investment scammers. With a minimum investment of $1,000, you get $100 to $150 in profit monthly. That's 10% to 15% monthly return on investment. And if anyone says that to you, run a mile. It simply isn't true. However enticing it might sound, it isn't true, and it doesn't happen. That's very nice for you, said Denise. Yes, They charge 5% on withdrawal, he said, and task-free for UK citizens. OK, tell me more, said Denise, who thought maybe it was time to find out what the scam was about. And he gave her a web address. You should look them up, he said, and if it's something you'd be open to, I'll be glad to walk you through. OK, said Denise. What do I have to do? Firstly, he said, you have to set up an account with them, and you can do that through the company's website, which I sent you. It's not going to take more than 10 minutes. Do you have any testimonials or other clients I could contact for references, please? Asked Denise. You know, do your due diligence. But if somebody's told you you're going to get returns like he's said above, don't bother doing your due diligence. Just run a mile. I can connect you with my portfolio manager, he said. He'd be in the best position to connect you with other investors. Yes, please, said Denise. Before we go any further, let's do some background research on that website. But you're going to have to wait, because that's episode 2. I made the whole video, and it was 50 minutes long, and I really don't think anyone would have watched it. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, please share it, please subscribe to my channel, please comment down below, and I'll see you again in Mason Thill, episode 2, where Denise does her homework.